Deepwoken doesn't make very much sense, and in today's video I will be making fun of everything in Deepwoken that just doesn't really make sense. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and hit the notification bell, and just know this video is a joke, so don't get mad in the comments saying, it's just a video game, because I don't care. Now, let's get into it. First of all, daggers. Daggers are a knife. If you were to go to your kitchen right now and grab a knife, it's fair to say that your arm, with the extended knife, would now be considered longer. Right? Well, not in Deepwoken. In Deepwoken, daggers actually have one stud less range than fists, and that doesn't make very much sense. Also, about daggers, how come me slashing this guy in his throat 14 times doesn't kill him? I know it would be unbalanced if one slash killed, but realistically, me slicing this guy's throat open would definitely kill him no matter what. Why can you parry guns? And also they don't really have bullets, which makes it even more confusing. Parrying guns is something you just couldn't do. Go outside, have your friend shoot you, and try and block that with a kitchen knife. If you can do it, I'll PayPal you $5 whole. Also, speaking of guns, why is the reload so fast? Realistically, after shooting about 5 or 6 shots, you should be going through a reload animation for around 4 to 6 seconds or so. And why don't they have any real range? And why don't they immediately cripple and kill anyone they shoot? Look, I don't want any of these changes because I really hate guns, but why not? It just doesn't really make sense, you know? And about the thing about them having no bullets, they just don't. They don't go anywhere. They kind of just hit people. I don't know. Magic guns, I guess, but whatever. Training with dumbbells does not make sense, so clearly Archmage and Reaconteur have never been to the gym. If you curl a dumbbell too much, or run with ankle weights on too much, they break. This also includes books? I guess books wear with time, so it could kinda be forgiven, but the only one that actually makes sense to break is the training vest, because you're actually damaging it when you get hit while wearing it. But the rest of these don't make sense. There's no reason that books and weapons and dumbbells should be falling apart from you curling them. That is just stupid. Weapon range and hitboxes as a whole. I know I mentioned daggers having less range than fists, but also the range doesn't match most weapons. Curved blade is a broad short sword with a curved blade, and yet it has the same range as the shattered katana, which is physically the longest weapon in the entire game. That just doesn't really make sense. The rapier grip animation is you slicing the neck with the broadside of your blade, but rapiers aren't sharp. They're only pointed at the end, which is how they do damage, but as a whole, the blade on the rapier isn't sharp. So if you were to put it over someone's neck and slice, it would do literally nothing. So this definitely would not be able to kill someone in real life, or even in Deepwoken, because the rapier isn't even sharpened. It doesn't make sense. Why can you wield a heavy weapon in one hand? You're telling me that Deepwoken players are strong enough to do that? Also, why does the 60-pound hammer cracking against your skull hurt less than the bitch-ass 4-inch dagger slicing your arm? That just doesn't really make sense. Pale Morning should be causing brain damage, and it just doesn't. And how can you climb when you have a shield and a hammer on your arms, and you somehow climb walls and parkour as if you were a monkey, which most Deepwoken players are anyway? It just doesn't make sense. So there are grab moves. Legion Kata grab, Jolt grab, Flame grab, all of those. Why do they work? Just why do they work on any of the monsters? You can body slam a 50-ton fish monkey, a 2-ton shark beast that's quadruple your size, and a bunch of other things which are realistically way too large for you to slam like that. How ripped are Roblox characters and how ripped are Deepwoken players for us to be able to just lift up a stupid shark thing that's like 50 times larger than us? It just wouldn't work. Fists have a lot of things wrong with them. First of all, putting on gloves somehow increases the swing speed of your fists. Default fists with nothing on them are slow. Fists with Flamekeeper cestus swing at 0.87 point swing speed. You're telling me that putting gloves on makes you punch faster. Okay. And once again, the fists do more damage than the 60-pound hammer smacking against your skull at full force. How does this even make sense? This game needs some serious balancing changes, because it doesn't make sense how they're letting Archmage balance things when he's garbage at his own game. First of all, going through a sea highway increases boat speed, and they're separated by gates, which just doesn't make sense. That's not a thing. I guess this could maybe make sense because the wind current is going that way, but first of all, why don't they move? Realistically, a wind current can be anywhere at any time, so whatever. But also, why does crossing the invisible line immediately make you lose 90% of the accumulated speed that you had because of the wind? That just wouldn't happen. You'd still have some of it, so why do you just slow down so much? Also, the ironclad. Why does this 50-ton, 100,000-pound boat get flipped over every time you do literally anything in it? You're telling me climbing a ladder, I'm so fucking heavy and fat. You know what, actually, this one does make sense. This one actually makes sense. Because the ironclad is 100,000 pounds, right? But the average Deepwoken player weighs somewhere around 300,000 pounds because of how fat they are. So you stepping on that ladder to climb the ironclad totally makes sense why the boat would capsize instantly. It really does. I'm losing my mind. You can't break bones. You get thrown by a monkey 20 miles into the air and land on your arm. You fall asleep for a few seconds and then get back up. You fall off a cliff and then land directly on concrete, you can literally walk it off. You get your skull smacked 42 consecutive times with a 60-pound hammer, and you're still alive and your skull is completely fine. Why do only daggers do bleed? Realistically, any bladed weapon could cause heavy bleeding. And speaking of bladed weapons, why is the iron birch considered blunt damage when it has a sharp edge and pointed tip? It really doesn't make sense when you think about it. The inventory in this game is fucking massive. Why can I hold an entire boulder in my back pocket, and why can I hold 40 weapons, 70 types of fruit, and an entire American arsenal in my pockets? Like, are the pockets of a Deepwoken character its own pocket dimension with near infinite space which can be increased as long as your already jacked character is able to hold all of it? Just doesn't really make sense. Why does an entire bar of gold sell for less than a gold ring? And why do enchants sell for 50 notes? You're telling me that a super rare, enchanted, legendary weapon that people wouldn't even accept notes for regularly is sold for 50 notes at a merchant? The merchants are cheap, and I don't blame them, because I am a very capitalist man, so I honestly respect it. But how the fuck are you gonna give me less money for an entire bar of gold than you would for a golden ring? I hate the merchants. I hope you guys enjoyed, and know this video is just a joke, so make sure to subscribe, like, comment, hit that notification bell, and join my Discord in the description and comment section down below. Also follow me on Twitch, I'll be streaming on there more. I did one stream a while ago, but I hope you guys enjoyed that if you were there, and I hope you enjoyed. But there's one thing that doesn't make sense. Why hasn't Layer 2 come out? Why is Archmage in charge of balancing? Those two things, they don't make sense, but those are never going to be fixed, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and goodbye. Why are you still here? Leave. The video's over. It's just a black screen here. You're sitting at the end of time.